Y'all, what happened, okay? This season was a bunch of just like filler, tomato. I watched this finale and the reunion, and I just have to give it, Cisco and Ebert, 2 thumbs down. But let's get into it, okay? Now, was I expecting much? No. Because so far this season, we're done now. What did I really get? Okay, everybody stayed together. Okay, everybody. Now, a lot of these couples, probably all of them, really don't need to be together. Okay, but here we are, finally at the end. And as I've been saying all season, Netflix was like, here you go, take your little show and leave us alone, because that's what we got. I feel like it was like, how do we go from queer love to this? Okay, is it that the drama was just more there with people in past seasons? Yes. Okay, was it a casting issue? I believe so. They need to go back to casting, because I'm just like, wake me up when it's over. I don't want it no more. So we get to the finale and everybody stays together, okay? Honestly, I was like fast forward. I'm like, okay, I don't need the why I love you so much. I could tell y'all gonna stay together, okay? And let's talk about the highlights of the finale. Now, Antonio, okay, was it just me, or was his letter all about Roxanne being his savior? I wouldn't be here without you. Thank you. It's like, you are very much a person in her life who feels her ego, okay? And even though, at the end, it was still very much like, she's gonna do her, and I'm just here, okay? When is it ever gonna be when we're together? We're opposites. We don't have a lot in common, okay? I am the person who, in those times when she feels doubtful, less than about herself, I am here to pour into her. And I don't see that coming from the outside. You have to think about your relationships, whether it's romantic, friendship, family. Are they pouring into you as much as you are pouring into them? Because this is a prime example of a man who is constantly pouring. And what is he getting out of it? He is getting nothing, okay? I'm sure he gets to sleep with her at night. He has a partner, less lonely. But those are things you need to work on in therapy so you do not end up in a situation like this, okay? That was pretty much, I got my little cheat sheet, so don't judge me. But that was pretty much like really the only like highlights of the finale. I was also like, when James said it took him 7 years to feel like he can open up to Ryan, red flag, okay? Not for Ryan or Rylan, I always get her name messed up. But for James, like, it still shows that I don't think he is ready. He needs to really check himself into some therapy to work on that trauma, that inner child, that little boy inside of him as an only child who grew up with parents who were very critical, made him feel like he's always trying to prove himself. He needs to really work on that. Not so much work on being married, but work on yourself, okay? Don't go into a marriage with all these issues that you have not really worked on your damn self, all right? Because you're going to pour that into your relationship. You're going to pour that into your partner. Your partner is going to become that surrogate parent that you have been yearning for, that you have been needing, and it's going to be such a weight on them that they have to live up to that your marriage is probably not going to work out. Let me know if that has been you, where you have felt that times where you were becoming your partner's surrogate parent and trying to fulfill that void that's inside of them, because a lot of relationships do. So that was all I got from the finale. I do feel like Roxanne took a little bit of accountability that she has not been pouring into Antonio as much as he deserves. But other than that, fast forward. So then we get to the reunion, okay? We finally get to the reunion. I'm like, okay, maybe we gonna have a comeback. Maybe it's gonna give something. And I see everyone looking happy. I see the empty couch. I'm like, okay, Oh, they about to be messy. Okay, they about to get into it. And then we start with Vanessa and Nick and a little corny jokes. I was like, okay. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be watching this, right? Okay. And then Lisa and Brian come out. For what purpose? But to only be messy. They were with us for what? 1 episode, 2 episodes? Why? And like, okay, I see that Vanessa about to try and be messy. And Nick is just going to be the usual sidekick sitting there while his wife, is messy. And at least this time, she seemed like she had not been drinking or engaging in something that had her like off the chain, like in some of these reunions. But they come out and I'm like, okay, a check is a check. They got a baby. They look sleep deprived because apparently the baby at that time was only 7 weeks old. I'm like, oh, y'all new parents. I could tell y'all look kind of tired. And then Lisa is going to do Lisa. Okay. And it shows you how there's only so much a baby can change about you. That hurts, those wounds, that anger that's still residing inside of her, that some of it is fierceness, but in not the most positive way. It's more of a toxic kind of fierceness. And notice how her and Roxanne feed off of each other because they both have that fiery, dominant personality. Did y'all notice that? Roxanne was trying to like stick up for her. We don't need that. Work on your stuff over there. Work on your stuff with Antonio. Leave Vanessa and Brian in their own little like bubble that they living in right now. So I was like, okay, they about to be messy with this newlywed game. The reunion was like lackluster, y'all. I'm like, y'all could have scrapped this season and found some new couples and just told us it was season 3, even though y'all filmed a whole nother season we never would see, because there was nothing going on. It was such a waste. And I'm still gonna stand on my 10 toes down that Queer Love was better than this. It was even better than season 1. I really think this should be considered season 3. I don't know why they're trying to separate, the Queer Love season, but really that has been the best season of the Ultimatum. I'm not surprised that all these couples are still together, because what else they really got going on with, outside of this? One thing I do want to point out, I was curious about with Antonio starting his businesses. Are they his businesses or are they Roxanne's that he's running them? Okay, so I was curious about that. It also shows me how he continues to try and prove himself to Roxanne by buying her more rings and she's still not wearing them. It's like, at one point, do you realize she's not that into me? This relationship is not going to marriage. I want marriage, and she clearly is married to her business. That anxious attachment style, you have to work on that because you're constantly trying to prove. And what are you getting back? What's being poured into you? Recognize how the attachment style of some of these cast members really rolled them. It's really in control of them. But I'm happy to see that they're still in love. But other than that, this reunion was kind of a waste to me. I'm very disappointed by the season. It just didn't have a lot of context. It didn't have a lot of depth in it. I'm hoping we can come back with Love is Blind in a couple weeks, and maybe that will give us some more meat. But let me know your thoughts on the reunion. Do you think it was boring? What were your highlights? Let me know in the comments and we could talk about it. But yeah, what this season is? Tomato. I don't want it. I like it. I'm glad it's over with. If you reached this part of the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!